Good morning. This is Ms. Billerbeck, and we're going to talk about translating arithmetic expressions. So, we usually see arithmetic expressions in word problems, and this is one of the reasons why word problems can be difficult, is if we can't translate what the words are saying. So, we're going to take this step by step and figure this out. So if we have 7 times the sum of 4 and 8, well, the sum of 4 and 8 is a parenthesis, it's parentheses around 4 plus 8. So that's the sum of 4 and 8. And then it says 7 times the sum of 4 and 8. So first we have to add 4 and 8, 12, and then we multiply times 7. And we get 84. So that would be 7 times the sum of 4 and 8. So sometimes the words come first that are actually last in the mathematical sentence or expression. So 18 less than thrice 8. Well, thrice 8 is another way of saying 3 times 8. And then 18 less, so we're going to subtract 18. Again, the expression, the written expression starts with what we do last. So sometimes this is incredibly confusing. So now we do multiplication first because that's done first. So 24 minus 8. And then we have our final answer is going to be 6. So we can see from here that order is going to matter a lot. If we had done 18 minus 24, we would have gotten a negative 6. So we need to be very careful about what it's saying. 18 less. So that means whatever we have, it's going to be 18 less. Okay. So that means we subtract 18 from whatever we have. The difference of 44 and twice 17. So we have 44 and twice 17. So that's going to be the difference of 44 and twice 17. So this ends up 44 minus 34, and we can see, well, that's going to be 10. Okay. 16 is added to 32. So 16 is being added to something. So we have to have something first to add. So we have 32, and now we're going to add 16. Because 16 is being performed, 16 being added to something is being performed to something else. So this is the thing that we have originally, and we're adding 16 to it. So when we do that, we get 48. All right. Now we have 4 cubed minus the product of 12 and 5. So 4 cubed looks like this, and minus, we're not subtracting 4 cubed from anything. It's 4 cubed minus the product of 12 and 5. So we're multiplying there. So with PEMDAS, or order of operations, we do exponents first. 3 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4 minus 12 times 5. So 4 times 4 times 4 is 64 minus, and 12 times 5 is 60. So we end up with 4. All right. So now let's look at the difference of 7 squared and the product of 6 and 8. So the difference of 7 squared. First, let's write 7 squared. And we're trying to find the difference of 7 squared and the product of 6 and 8. So we're going to subtract 6 and 8 because that's a product, so we multiply them together. So we're trying to find the difference, which is a subtraction of 7 squared and the product of 6 times 8. So this is 49 minus 48, which is just 1. So if we look at example 7, we have the sum of 1/3 of 15 and 3/4 of 8. So we have 1/3 of 15, and it's the sum, so we're adding, and 3/4 of 8. Okay, well, 1/3 of 15, there's 1 3 and 3, and there's 5 3s in 15. And in 4, there's 1 4 and 4, and 2 4s and 8. So this is the sum of 5 plus and 3 times 2. So 3 times 2. So that's 5 plus 6. So we have 11. Okay, so 1/3 of 15 is 5, and 3/4 of 8 is 6. So the sum of 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 subtracted from 61. So that means we're starting with 61 because we're doing something. We're subtracting 11 from something. We're acting upon something. So we subtract 11 from 61. Well, that's just 50. All right, so the last few examples, here we go. So if I have 1/2 the quotient of 42 and 7, so we want 1/2 the quotient of 42 and 7. So we have 1/2 the quotient of 42 and 7. So that's another way of writing it. Now we could figure out what the quotient is very quickly because we could put the 7 as the divisor and the 42 as the dividend, and we see, oh, there are 6 42s, or 6 7s and 42. So 6 times 7 is 42, and we have a 0. So this is called the quotient. This one, the 6. So if we translate this, this is 1/2 of 6. And 1/2 of 6 is just 3. All right, so negative 51 is added to something. So we're starting with something, so we need to figure that out. So it's added to the quotient of 120 and 4. Okay, so we have 120 and 4. So we're looking for that quotient. And it says negative 51 is added to the quotient of 120 and 4. So we're adding something, but it's a negative number. Okay, so the quotient of 120 and 4 happens to be 30. So we have 30 plus negative 51. So if we look at this, we have different signs take the difference. So what we could do is just take 51 and subtract 30, which gives us 21. Now the bigger number is negative, so we know our answer is negative. So this is going to be negative 21. And that is translating arithmetic expressions. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.